Okay, good morning. So, we will continue with our class. So, regarding po yung may nag-post na hindi ma-open yung kanyang form, no, ang Google Activity form. So, I will check that after our class today. And may nag-post din ako sa group chat natin regarding the results of the quizzes and midterm yung score. So, bibigay ko yan. So, give me until Friday. If ever may hindi po kayo nakatanggap sa email ninyo ng scores, so direct message me in your group, direct message me in the messenger on next Monday para ibigay ko na lang sa messenger directly ang scores. Okay? So I'm going to continue with our class na discuss ko last meeting yung Unit 2, Correlation. Okay, wait lang ah. Okay. So, we're done with the person product moment correlation or yung PPMC. So, now we're going to Spearman's rank order correlation. So, it is another type of correlations that you can do, type of analysis that you can do in terms of correlating or getting the correlations or the relationships of two variables. So, ano yung si Spearman? So, si Spearman, malalaman po si Spearman pag itong ginagamit natin, yan, o yung RS. O ito. So, this is the sign wherein it determines you that you're getting or you're using the Spearman's analysis or correlation. So, it is a formula is designed to help in handling ordinal data. So, it is the non-parametric version of the Pearson product moment correlation wherein it measures the strength and direction of association between two rank variables. So, ibig sabihin, parehas lang sila ng Pearson and Spearman. So, they're just going to measure the strength and the direction of association. So, indirect ba or directly correlated or related ang dalawang variables. So, dalawa pa ring variables ang gagamitin. So, this is the formula of the Spearman's correlation. Yan. So, last week, binigay ko yung formula ng Pearson. So, ito naman is the formula of the Spearman. So, ano to? So, we have 1 minus the 6 summation of the di squared all over n all times n squared minus 1. So, ano tong d? Itong nakikita natin dito, that is the differences of pair ranks, while the n is the number of paired data. So, later on, ma-realize natin, ma-appreciate natin itong formula ni Pearson. Okay? So, next. So, for example, we have here, no? We have the scores in math and English, rank the scores, and use the Spearman's rule to compute for the correlation coefficient. So, remember ha, for the unit 2, so unfortunately, hindi ko naibigay last week yung activities ng unit 2. So, ibibigay ko by Thursday ang activities nito at the same time yung activity ng unit 3. So, ibig sabihin, sa dinidiscuss ko ngayong unit 2, hindi po natin gagamitin yung example ni Spearman, kundi yung person. So, Spearman, so we're just passing yung Spearman, anong difference niya sa person, okay? So, ibibigay ko lang to kasi this is for your knowledge na lang, for additional knowledge for the module 4, unit 3. So, ito yung scores sa math ng isang estudyante. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, 10 students. So, this is their scores in math. And so, with this is their scores in English. So, ano to ni-rank? Ni-rank niya. So, we need to rank the scores. So ano yung pag-rank niya? Tingnan ko ah. So, ni-rank niya from lowest score to the highest score. Tingnan nyo. Yung 28 na pinaka-lowest score sa math is rank number 1. And 67, which is the highest score in math, rank number 10. So, ibig sabihin ni rank pala ang scores from slowest, the lowest score to high score. Okay, tingnan natin din yung pang-rank sa English. So, we have 130 and yung 10 naman 64. So, ganun din. So, yung pang-rank pala, so you need to rank them. You need to rank the score from lowest to highest. Okay? So, after you rank, so, nandito na yung DI. So, saan to po ang DI? So, DI squared. So, ano yung D? So, ito yung difference. So, ang ibig sabihin pala ng DI is the difference of the scores. I mean, difference ng ranking ng scores. For example, we have 3 and 4. What is their difference? Is 1. So, wala siyang sinabi na dapat mauna ang rank ng English minus rank ng math or yung rank ng math minus rank ng English. Wala. Basta, kunin lang yung difference. So, or pwede din naman, kasi walang sinabi dito kung saan isa-subtract first. So, we have, the difference of this is 1. So, 1, kasi squared siya. 1 squared is equals to 1. Wait lang ah. So, 1 squared is equals to 1. So, same here dito. 9 and 10 is, the difference is 1. So, 1 squared is equals to 1. Saan ko kinuha yung squared? Tingnan nyo ah. Difference minus the square. Okay, so this one is 6 minus 6, 0. 2 minus 1 is 1. So, 8 minus 1 is 7. Squared give you 49. This one is 1 squared. This one is 3 squared. This one is 2 squared. This one is 1 squared. This one is 5 squared. Ayan. So, ganyan yung pagkuha ng differences. So, it's either mauna yung English minus math or math minus English. Since magsa-square naman siya, it just gave you the same positive answer. Okay? So, after that, so we all know that, wait lang, nawawala ng aking. We all know that the summation is just the total of all of these. So, you just add, and then we have 92. Okay? So, after that, ano mangyayari? So, tingnan natin. So, ito na yung nakuha nating scores and the summations of their differences. So, saan kinuha ang differences nila? Kinuha yung differences by ranking. So, rank first them from the from the lowest score to the highest score. And then, yung rank nila, yun po yung ating isa-subtract with the squared. So, may sabihin ko, ano yon? Multiply to itself. Okay, so we have here, so we will use the Spearman's rank formula. So, 1 minus 6. So, mayroon tayong 6 ha. 6 times the summation of this one. So, what is the summation? Ito yon. So, the summation of their differences, which is 92, all over 10. Saan to kinuwang 10? Diba 10 is the number of students or number of respondents. So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, we have 10 respondents. So, 10 over 10 squared minus 1. Then, do the operations. So, 6 times 92, we have 552. 10 times 100 because 10 squared is 100 minus 1. Then, hanggang sa makuha na si si Spearman's Rule, which is 0.44. So, anong ibig sabihin ng 0.44? Wait lang ha. Sandali lang, wait. So, at anong ibig sabihin ng 0.44? Ito yon. Diba yung last time na sinabi ko, yung mga binigay kong ano yung sample, may 0.44, what is their indications, yung last time pina-screenshot ko sa inyo, yun po ang lalagay natin. So, the same lang din, yung ibig sabihin ng 0.44. So, ano yung ibig sabihin ng 0.44? So, ganun lang po yun. So, 0.44 is the correlation of, there is an indication that it is low positive correlation. So, ganun lang po. So, since the same lang yun sa person product, pero ang dito sa person kasi last time, kinuha mo yung maraming proseso yung person. Unlike this one, you just rank it, then after ranking, yung ranking niya, yun po yung isa-subtract natin para makuha ang DI. Tapos, yun na. Unlike sa person, marami siyang tables na gagawin. So, yung xi minus the mean, yi minus its mean, then you subtract the two, you get the square, mga ganon. Ganon po yung person. Pero yung Spearman, so ganito lang yung kanyang simple formula. So, that is for the Spearman. Okay, so, we have to define also this phi coefficient. Ano tong phi coefficient? So, phi coefficient is a more appropriate to describe the data set for a pair of nominal dichotomous set of data. So, ano tong dichotomous? Yan, no? Dichotomous. May sinasabi din, pinabasa nila dichotomous. So, pwede din yan dichotomous. So, this is a variable that contains precisely two distinct values. So, malalaman natin yung variable is a dichotomous if, for example, dalawa lang yung kanyang answer is like yes or no, like this one, true or false, or male or female. Hindi yung katulad yung age, mayroong 15, may 25, mga ganyan. Pero yung mga dala-dalawang answers lang or values ang makakaroon. So, ang tawag dan is the dichotomous variable. So, ito yung kanyang formula. Yan. So, that is the formula for the phi coefficient. Okay, so we have also binary variables. So, definition muna tayo. So, what is this binary variables? These are the variables for nominal scale having only two possible values. So, yung binary variables ay sometimes yung tawag na dichotomous variables because two possible values lang kanyang answer. We have also standard deviation. What is this standard deviation? It's a measure of dispersion that is less sensitive to extreme values, makes use of the amount by which each individual data value deviates from the mean. So, baka tanongin nyo, ma'am, what are these definitions na binibigay ko? So, ito ay additional knowledge lang para sa inyo. It's just a definition, hindi na natin kailangan discuss each of this one, yung kanyang variable, at ano ang kanyang purpose, because nandun lang po lang tayo sa shallow. We're not going to take the deeper part of the statistics. Kasi pag deeper part of statistics tayo, it will take us one semester to discuss it. Since we're just discussing it for, I guess, 1 or 2 weeks on statistics, so passing lang tayo. So just going to give you the definitions at kinuha ko lang yung selected topic for the more deeper understandings because of our limited time. Okay, so we have the binary. So last, we have phi coefficient, dichotomous variable, And we have also binary variables, and so with the standard deviation. So maganda sana itong standard deviations, pero hindi ko na siya sinama sa pag-discuss. Okay. So ang sinama ko na lang si point-Biseral correlation coefficient. Bakit man? Because we're talking about correlation. So isasama natin din si point-Biseral correlation coefficient. So we already discussed the person, then the Spearman. So nakita natin na si Spearman, yung kanyang formula medyo mas easy, mas simple kaysa kay person. Ngayon si point-Biseral. So maganda ba yun yung point-Biseral correlation coefficient? So it is a correlation din, no? Correlation din siya that measures the strength of association. Parehas lang din kasi ang correlation is measuring the strength. Kung strong or weak ba ang kanilang positive correlation or strong and weak ba kanilang negative correlation or relationship. Okay, so it measures the relationship between a real dichotomous and an interval. So ibig sabihin, itong point-Biseral, ginagamit lang to pag meron tayong dichotomous. Di ba sinabi kong dichotomous yung meron tayong variables na male and female lang ba? Or meron tayong true or false or yes or no. Pero pag wala tong variables na ganyan, yes or no, true or false, yung dalawang choices lang, hindi po natin magagamit si point-Biseral. Ang gagamitin po natin is the person and the Spearman. Pero pag meron dichotomous, dalawang choices, so ito pong formula ang gagamitin natin. So ano yan? So itong kanyang formula, wherein, wait lang, wawala naman yung mouse. Where na yun? X is the continuous variable and Y is the dichotomous. So yung si Y daw is the dichotomous variable. So where X1 is the mean, X when Y is 1 or those labeled with 1. So basahin nyo lang yan. So mas maganda kasi yan with an example. Okay? Yan po yung sample Wait lang. Read the, observe nyo muna yung examples data. Okay, wait lang po. Alam po ng water. Okay, so we have example 4 girls and 5 boys. So meron tayong dichotomous. Ito na yon. Meron tayong girl and boys. So we indicate girl as 1 and yung boy as 2. So we have 9 students. Ito yung kanilang gender. Yan. So, from the gender, we explain that the 1 is the girl. So, yung 1 is the girl. Yung 2 indicate it's a boy. And then, nalaman natin meron tayong 4 na babae and 5 lalaki. So, of grade 12, who took a 20-item mathematics. Wait na. Okay, so sorry for that kasi may binisitang picture. Okay. So we have here, these students are of grade 12 who took 20-item mathematics achievement test. So ito yung kanilang results. So yung student 1, who is a girl, have 10 points in 20-item achievement test. While yung student 2, who is a boy, got 9. And so on, hanggang sa student 9. So, anong sinasabi dito? We will compute the correlation coefficient of the girl's score and the boy's score in the set of data. So, since we have two variables for the gender, so meron tayong dichotomous variable, which is the gender. It explain na meron tayong male and female. So, we will determine yung kanilang correlation. Kung meron ba, anong ibig sabihin nito? You're going to compute the correlation coefficient of the girl's score. Ibig sabihin, nag-a-affect ba yung, parang ganito yan, pag ang achievement test, dinepend nyo sa gender, ibig sabihin, gusto niya malaman yung relationship nila. If ever ba, kung babae ka, mataas ba yung mathematics achievement test mo? Or kung lalaki ka ba, or mataas ba yung achievement test mo? Ganun po yung kanyang gustong malaman na relationship. So, yun po yung correlation. Pag kunan nyo yung correlation, ibig sabihin, yung variable ba will determine sa isang variable. For example, yung pag babae ako, matalino ako sa math kasi mataas ang aking achievement test sa math. Or, pag lalaki ka, mataas ba din yung achievement test mo sa math? So, ganun yun. So, we will use ano yung formula? The point-Biserial correlation coefficient. So, yan. So, since we have this example, we use the point-Biserial correlation because we have a continuous interval data, which is the test results, and the nominal dichotomous data, which is female or male, or girls or boy. So, ganon. So, yan po ang malaman natin kung kailan po gamitin si point-Biserial. Okay, so we have the X to be the continuous variables with is your test results, and Y is a dichotomous variable which is the male and female. So, sineparate natin ha. Ngayon, kinuha natin lahat ng boys. Inutaman lahat ng girls. Yan bang girls? Wait lang ha. Okay na. So, yung 1 is the girl, yung 2 is the boy. So, lahat ng boys and their respective achievement tests. Lahat ng girls and their respective achievement tests. Ganun po yung point-Biserial. Sineparate ang boys and girls. Iyo? Sandali lang ha. Okay, so we have here gender, no? So achievement test results. So wait lang ah. So pasensya man ang phone, malapit pa talaga sa akin. Okay, so I guess klaro ba ang aking boss? Lapit.
Ma'am, nawala man yung boses mo, no?
Okay, sorry kasi nawala yung aking connection. So, dito tayo Wait lang. Okay, so we'll go back. So, ito yung ating klase. So, we have here, so the achievement test of the, sineparate po din natin yung boys or the female and the male. So, we have here the male and we have here the female. So, after that, with their respective scores, we're going to get their mean. So, yung mean, recap po tayo. Wait lang So, yung mean, recap po tayo. Wait lang So, yung mean, so ang mean kailangan kukunin natin yung mean. You add the value and then you divide kung ilan sila. So, for the male versions, we have 2. And for the female, we have 4. So, may 5 lalaki, 4 na babae. So, after getting their mean, ano na mangyari? So, ito na yon. So, tingnan nyo yung table. Observe nyo muna kung anong meron. Hindi po na, Pel. Wait lang Start na lang na ako. Wait. Okay, so we have here. So, ano nangyari? So, from here, so tingnan nyo yung table. So, meron tayong ganito, bumalik siya. So, tinanggal na natin si student cell, yung row. So, gender na lang and the achievement test. After that, ito. So, saan to galing? So, we have xi minus the x, minus the mean. Ano to? Ano yung mean natin for the male? Teka, what is the mean for the male? Ay, where? So, the mean for the 2, x2, 13.6, x1, 11.25. x2, 13.6, x1, 11.25. Ayan. Okay, so this is a female. So, ang kanyang test is 10. So, 10 minus 11.25. Bakit naging... Wait lang bakit 2.56? So, what happened? Okay, tingnan ko muna. So iba palang ginawa niya. Okay, so after getting pala ng mean ng lalaki and mean ng babae, dyan lang muna yan. Hindi pa pala gagamitin dito sa table na to. Okay, so this table, ang gagawin nyo is collect again all of the data. So you add all of the data. It's either male or female ba yan? Basta yung all of the 9 students get their mean. So you add them and divide it into 9. After getting it, so we have the mean is 12.56.
Ma'am, excuse me ma'am, 123 man yung kung i-add ma'am.
Saan?
123, yung 10 plus 9 plus 10 plus 17. Saan yan yung Saan yan? Kinuha yung 156, ma'am.
Wait lang ah. Okay, noted,
Kasi,
J-Boy.
okay, ma'am.
O, teka, check ko muna ulit. Saan yung kinuha? Kasi kinuha ko naman din to sa book. Wait lang. Baka minsan kasi yung book, mali-mali naman yung kanyang solving din. Okay, so that's a good observation, J-Boy. So we have, okay, 8 plus 10, 12, 19. Okay, so 113 ba yung J-Boy, no? So, may mali po tayo dito kasi sa libro 155 eh. Okay, so sorry
Pati yung sa una, ma'am, parang hindi ko rin makuha doon, ma'am.
Ito? Ay, wait. Bakit? Kasi kinopy and paste ko. Sorry kinopy and paste ko kasi. Wait lang So, we have okay na. Nahang lang. Okay, so we have 9 plus 10 plus 18 plus 12 plus 19. I-divide natin sa 5. That is 13.6. So ito, correct na yung 13.6. So, pakitingnan na lang, no? Itong taas is 68. Pero okay na siya, 13.6. So, this time, sino yun? Okay, so ito naman, tingnan ko ulit 10 plus 17 plus 8 plus 10. 45 divided by 4 is 11.25. Okay na ito. Ito lang. So, ngayon, dito naman, so I'm going to get the mean. 10 plus 9 plus 10 plus 17, 18, 8, 10, 12, 19. So, we have, tingnan nyo, mali naman to. 113 over, ito is 9. Divided by 9, 12.56. Correct na siya. 12.56. So, yun lang ang mali dyan. So, thank you, J-Boy, for taking note. So, ganun. So, nakuha na natin si 12.56. So, itong mga ito, isa-subtract natin dito. So, 10 minus 12.56. So, 12 sandali lang So, we have 10 minus 12.56. Ito na yung negative 2.56.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, J-Boy.
113 ba yan, ma'am? Or 123?
113. 123 sa'yo? Kasi you add 10 plus 9 plus 10.
10 plus
Wait
7.
10 plus 9
Okay
plus
na, ma'am.
10. Okay na?
Akala ko kasi 18. Sorry.
Okay lang. Okay, so ngayon, so we have 10 plus 9 plus 10. So ito na yun, 12.56. So, from their test score, subtract mo yung mean, ito na makukuha. So, negative 2.66. 9 minus the mean, ito. And so on. Tapos, ito, so from here, square mo daw. Kailangan natin yung square. So, this one, square natin, ito makuha. This one, square natin, ito din makuha. And so on. So, and then, you add this one. Kasi summation lang man, so you add, and then this is the summation. Or the total of this if this row. So after that, so nakuha na natin yung summation. So anong next? Yan. So ito na yung next. So we have this SX this formula, ito. So itong formula na to, so ano to, saan to kinuha itong first? So ito yan dito. Itong row na ito. Yan. So, from that, lalagay natin dito, ano tong N? Ilang students na kinandak natin? So, we have 9. So, 9 minus 1. And then, do the operation. So, divide and then get the square root. And we have 4.259. 2459. Yan. And then, ito yung ating formula. So, ito yung formula ng point-BISERIAL. So, the mean of the girl is 11.25 minus the mean of the boy, which is 13.6, divided by yung SX. Ito yung SX na kuha natin. So, ilalagay natin dito. Square root of, ano yung N1? The number of female na meron tayo. Meron tayong 4. Actually, hindi ito point ha, times yan. So, ilalagay ko na lang ganyan para mas klaro. The number of male is 4. The number of female, kasi N2. Ibig sabihin, N1 pala yung female. So, number of female is 4. The number of male is 5. All over, ilang lahat estudyante? 9. So, 9 times 9 minus 1. And then, do the operation hanggang sa makuha na si point-BISERIAL ng negative 0.02645. So, ano ang negative? Diba ang negative is negative correlation? Since malapit na sa zero, so it is a low negative correlation. So, anong sinabi ng pag-negative? It suggests, the higher the boy scores in the exam, the lower are the girl's scores. So, ganun yon. Ano yung kanyang suggestion? Okay, so any questions with the correlation? Yung lahat ng correlation. The Pearson, the Spearman, and the point-BISERIAL. So ang ating activity for the Unit 2, di ba sinabi ko na ng last week, is your, ganito yon, ibibigay ko sa ating activity, which I failed to upload nung last week because of medyo naging busy din ako. So, I'm going to upload this activity kasama doon sa Unit 3 natin. So, what will be your activity for the Unit 2? Yun lang, gagamitin nyo lang is the Pearson. Dito, hindi nyo gagamitin si Spearman or si point-BISERIAL. Ang gagamitin natin si Pearson. So, just go to Pearson correlation and do the, gayahin nyo lang yung ginawa natin sa Pearson. So, ito So, ito yung gagawin natin. So, I discuss this one, kung paano kukunin yung ito. So, dapat may mga answers po kayo dito. So, ibibigay ko ito sa Google Form. Then, sa Google Form nyo lang din i-attach ang inyong pinicturang ginawa nyong table or answers doon sa papel. Kailangan pag yung pictures na yun ay kompleto na po ang detalye sa loob ng mga cells na ito. Okay? So, itong line, don't forget ha. So, dito, sasabihin nyo na lang kung ano yung answer sa RXY and then sasabihin nyo kung anong ibig sabihin ng answers nyo dito. It's either strong positive correlation or negative correlation or low positive correlation. Ganon yung, depende po yan sa magiging answers ninyo. Okay? So, question regarding sa ating activity.
None, ma'am.
Okay, so none. So now we go to the last part, the last unit for module 4. So medyo yung statistics, medyo as for me, ang statistics kasi parang medyo mahirap talaga siya, pero you need to pass through this one kasi kasama siya sa mathematics in the modern world. Kaya nga hinanap ko na lang yung medyo easy to discuss na ma-appreciate ninyo kasi yung iba, may binakita kasi akong part doon sa module na dapat i-discuss ay yung mga mahirap
Choppy
na talagang
ka,
i-discuss. Choppy? Wait lang ha. Okay, klaro na? Hello?
Pwede na, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, J-Boy. So, tapos na tayo sa correlation. So, ang unit 1 is all about mean, median, and mode. So, yung mean and median and mode, medyo yun po ay parang challenging and easiest part. Itong correlation, medyo mahirap talaga siya. Pero, okay lang man. Basta you just copy yung formula, you just go with the formula at makukuha natin yung tamang sagot for this cell. Okay, so Pearson lang gagamitin dito hindi na kailangan si Spearman nor si POINT-BISERIAL. Yung Pearson product moment correlation lang po. Okay, so if no more questions with the unit 2, so time check, we have 9:58, so I still have 32 minutes more to discuss this unit 3. Okay, so unit 3 is on the testing of hypothesis and regression analysis. So what is this hypothesis? So hypothesis is a specific statement of prediction. It describes in concrete rather than in theoretical terms what you expect will happen in your study. So not all studies have hypothesis. For example, pag kayo ay mag-observe lang sa isang klase, gagawa ng study, so hindi na po kailangan ng hypothesis. Mostly ang hypothesis ay ginagamit lamang sa mga quantity data. So malalaman natin so ano yung quali and quantitative. So a single study may have one or many hypotheses. So depende yan sa study niyo. Okay, so meron tayong dalawang hypothesis. These are the null and alternative hypothesis. So pakinggan nyo mabuti itong null and alternative kasi ito yung magiging activity nyo for this unit 3. Okay, so what is the difference between the null and the alternative? So the null is HO and the alternative is the HA. So, ang null hypothesis is a statement of no difference between sample means or proportions, or no difference between a sample mean or proportion and a population mean or proportion. In other words, the difference is equals to 0. It is a statement of what is being investigated. So ito yung ginagamit, ito yung nauna muna before yung alternative. Mauna muna si null kasi ito yung magiging investigation ninyo. So it is usually written in the negative form. Negative form daw. Sample, characteristic X has no significant effect. There is no significant difference. So nagsa-start siya na no. X has not significant relation with Y. Parang ganyan. So, ang ginagamit niya mostly is equal sign, greater than or equal to, and less than or equal to. Okay, so itong portion na ito, didiscuss ko kasama po pala sa kabila. So, didiscuss ko muna si alternative. While the alternative, a claim about the population that is contradictory to the null. So, ibig sabihin, kung anong sinabi mo sa null, itong si alternative, magko-contradict siya. Kaya nga, pag sinabi ni null ng no, sample, characteristics X has no significant effect. So, yung null mo ngayon, kasi contrary siya, wala siyang no. Oh? So, sasabihin mo, characteristic X has significant effect. So, yun po yung alternative. Yung null, may no siya. Tanggalin mo yung no, yun na po yung alternative. Ngayon, ano po to dito sa baba? Pag sinabi ni null ng equal, so, ang alternative ay, magiging not equal or greater than or less than. Pag sinabi ni null, greater than and equal to, so yung null, yung alternative magiging less than. Pag sinabi nila null, less than or equal to, so yung alternative mo, more than. So opposite siya or contradicting to the null hypothesis. Pero take note yung null ay palaging may equal sign. Yan, tingnan nyo, equal. Ito nga dito, greater than or equal to. Nandiyan pa rin si equal. Less than or equal to. So ito, equal. Ito dito, walang equal. It can be less than or greater than. Yung alternative. So, example tayo. Kasi sa activities ninyo, magse-select lang po kayo doon. For example, may ibibigay akong certain data and then mag-create ng hypothesis and then i-determine nyo kung ano ang magiging null hypothesis niya or alternative hypothesis. But don't worry, hindi naman po kayo magsusulat, kundi you select which will be the proper hypothesis for the null and alternative. So, ibig sabihin, mag-pick lang po kayo for this activity. Hindi po kayong gagawa ng null and alternative hypothesis kasi medyo magiging difficult na po sa inyo. Okay, kasi passing naman tayo. Pero if ito ay isang subject talaga, statistics, well, you need to, for your activities, you need to create a null and alternative hypothesis statement. Pero, just a part of the module, so, ang gagawin nyo na lang is, you just analyze which will be the null and hypothesis just by ticking. Mag-tick lang po tayo. Okay, so, for example, so to find out if the blended learning is more effective, more effective than classes purely given in the classroom, what will be the null and alternative hypothesis? So, ito yung kanyang magiging null. So, ano yung activity, ano yung study mo? Titingnan mo kung ang blended learning is more effective than classes purely given in the classroom. Ibig sabihin, blended learning yung merong use of online. While the classes purely in the classroom, yung face-to-face. Gusto niya malaman kung saan mas maganda. Kung mas effective ba ang blended learning kesa yung traditional classes. So, ang null hypothesis mo ngayon ay magiging there is no significant difference. So, nagsastart talaga yan ng significant difference yan. So, there is no significant difference in the mean scores. Bakit mean scores, ma'am, of the achievement test? So, kasi hinahanap mo kung effective ba yung blended learning. So, nagbigay ka ng achievement test. Example, in basic statistics. So, there is no difference, a significant difference in the mean scores of the achievement test in basic statistics of those who were taught using blended learning and those who were taught using purely traditional classroom methods. So, null po tayo. So, sa pag-null, meron tayong no. Ngayon, sa alternative, change mo lang, tatanggalin mo lang si no. So, sabihin mo, there is a significant difference between the scores of those who taught with blended learning and the scores of those who were not. So, ganun po yung null and alternative. So, another example. So, ganun po kasi gusto mo malaman yung effective ba yung blended learning kaysa traditional, so, bibigyan natin ng exam. So, yung exam will be your basis. If there is a difference, kung mas effective ba ang blended learning kesa sa purely. Okay. So, another example, ito. No more than 30% of the registered voters in Santa Clara County voted in the primary election. Yan. So, sinabi mo, yan pa yung P is less than or equal to 30. Kasi sinabi man dito, no more than. No more than. So, hence, ang opposite nito is ito. Kasi opposite nito is ito. So, diniscuss ko yung definition. Ngayon, for example, another example. We want to test whether the mean GPA of students in American colleges is different from 2.0 out of 4.0. So, what is the null and alternative hypothesis? So, gumamit tayo ng U. Ano tong U? Ibig sabihin, population talaga, lahat sila. Ano sinabi? Equals to 2.0. Yun nyo is equals. Kasi, di ba, sinabi doon na ang hypothesis, ang null hypothesis, dapat talaga may equal sign. So, indicate niya ito. And so, pag ang HA mo, pwede ito. Or pwede din, di ba sinabi ko, or you can use ganyan, or pwede din kayong kumamit ng ganyan. So, para ma-stick, since sinabi niya naman equal sign, so not equal yung alternative hypothesis. So, another example. Ito yung last example natin. We want to test if college students take less than 5 years to graduate from college on the average. The null and alternative hypotheses are. So, we want to test if college students take less than 5. So, pag sinabi take less than 5, so, ang magiging null hypothesis mo, ano? Kasi gusto mong kunin yung take less than 5. So, magiging hypothesis mo is greater than or equals to 5. So, yung alternative mo is yung less than 5. Itong dito. Less than 5. Yan po yung alternative hypothesis mo. Hence, the opposite, which is the null, will be greater than and equals to 5. Okay, so question. I guess no question. Okay.
None, ma'am.
So we will go now. So tapos na tayo sa hypothesis. So sa hypothesis, so pag hindi nyo pa rin na-determine yung hindi po nyo pa rin na-guess yung hypothesis, so you can read this. Ibibigay ko naman to by Thursday ang inyong lecture. So you read it, baka mas gusto nyo yung ma-understand nyo yung ano talaga. So you read the lecture po. So ibibigay ko yung lecture para mas malintindihan nyo yung null. Basta ang null and alternative, magkaiba yan sila. Opposite palagi yung alternative. Magko-contradict siya sa null. Okay? So, now we go to the regression analysis. So, yung regression, this study involves modeling. So, nag-model na tayo. Kaya nga tinawag tong regression. So, we have modeling and analyzing several variables, where the relationship includes a dependent variable and one or more independent variables. So, it is used to test the nature of relationships between a dependent variable and one or more independent variables. So, the same pa rin to. Ito, to test, it involves modeling and analyzing several variables. Okay, so before we go with the example of the regression, so meron tayong mga definition of terms. So we have the regression model and the regression equation and the line of best fit. So, yung regression model specifies the relation of dependent variable to the independent variables, which is the x. While the equation, it can be used to predict the variables of y if the value of x is given. So, itong mga definition niya, so ma-appreciate natin to through example. So, yung line of best fit is the equation of the line that best fits to the collected data. So, mostly itong definition na pag nilalabas ko to, ibig sabihin may mas possibility ibibigay during the quiz or your final exam. Okay? Okay, so this is the formula. So, saan yung formula natin? So, ito na yung ating simple linear regression equation. So, ito yung ating regression equation where M, ito yung kanyang formula sa M. And your B, so just get the opposite para makuha si B. Okay, so we will appreciate this through an example. Kasi pag equation lang ibibigay dyan, hindi natin ma-appreciate yan. Okay? Okay. So before example, so meron pa tayong the linear regression analysis is based on the following set of assumptions. So meron na tayong assumption. So what are these assumptions? So may apat na assumption in the regression. Meron tayong assumption of linearity, assumption of homoscedasticity, assumption of absence of collinearity or multi-collinearity, and assumption of normal distribution. So, you just read what is this assumption. So, passing lang tayo dyan. It's just for your additional knowledge na in doing the regression analysis, may mga assumption pong, may apat na assumptions pong na kailangan nating i-base. Okay? So, just read the definition in your own na lang po. Because it's already 10:12. Okay, so, yun na, no? So, we are the linear. So, before we go to the example, papasok muna tayo kung ano yung difference ng quantitative and qualitative. So, quantitative research method, it describe and measure the level of occurrences. So, ibig sabihin, ang question dito is how many and how often. Kaya nga siya quantity. So, ibig sabihin, gaano karami o gaano ka dami silang nag-occur, how many and how often. While yung qualitative, nag-describe lang siya, pati nagme-measure. Pero dito, nag-exploratory siya. Meron siyang understanding on underlying reasons and motivations. Sa quanti naman, they based on random sampling. Well, dito, non-random sampling. Quanti is a structured data collection instrument. While dito, non-quantifiable data such as words, feelings, emotions, etc. So yung quanti, survey ang ginagamit ninyo. So meron siya, magpipick siya kung very often or na often lang ba, not often, mga ganyan. Pero yung quali, observation. So kailangan mag-observe ka ng kung ano nangyayari, anong words. Sandali lang, ha. Wait lang, ha. Sandali lang. So we have the rank, yung quantity and qualitative research. So yung quantity, so nandun na tayo. So yung quantity, describing and measuring. While dito, yung quali, kailangan nyo i-observe yung kanyang words, feelings, and emotion. Si arriba, sepel.
Ma'am, pinipanway yung sugi pa para balik mo sa ita.
Para?
First time ito.
Oh, sepel. Ah?
Kami yung ma'am, sign. Para si Sir Abdi yan lang.
Okay, so, and then, so ito yung kanyang quantity and quali. So, for ano yung requirements? So, yung question niya, ito yung sinasabi ko dito. Only ang quantitative research merong hypothesis. Pero yung quali, wala. Interest siya ka lang kukunin. Observations. So, yung method niya, control and random. Dito, curiosity and flexibility. So, yung data collection, through the response of the respondent o yung participant. Pero yung quali, viewpoint lang. Ano yung viewpoint? So, kasi mag-observe lang kayo, so or mag-interview, so yung ano yung sinabi niya, which is an open-ended. Anong ibig sabihin ng open-ended? Kahit ano yung kanyang sasabihin, that will be your data to be collected. So, viewpoint po yung kinukuha natin. Outcome, dependent variable, and this one is the accounts. And for the data, we have here numerical, kasi magtipik lang sila sa survey. Well, dito textual. Bakit textual? Kasi observation through words. Words po ang ating kukuning na data sa qualitative. So yung sample size na gagamitin natin is a large. Large sample kasi survey lang. So kailangan marami tayong participants or respondents. Pero dito, small. Kailangan mo lang ng konti kasi mahirap talaga gumawa ng qualitative kapag marami. Dapat konti lang kasi at least makukuha mo kanilang viewpoint or kanilang interest or kanilang observations or interview, kung anong sasabihin, hanggang sa masaturate yan. Kailangan talaga small kasi mahirap talaga gumawa ng qualitative. So we have also the context and analysis. So tingnan nyo dito, yung analysis mo, magre-reject ka ba sa null hypothesis mo? Kasi mostly, ang null hypothesis talaga ang nire-reject para kukunin yung alternative. Kasi yung alternative, yun nga po yung binibase natin sa ating data. Sample, anong gusto mo kunin? Sample, gusto, di ba kanina sabi ko, gusto mo kunin yung study which were in less than 5 years, di ba? Kaya nga yung ating alternative is less than 5. Pero yung ating null which is greater than or equals to 5. Kaya because we need to reject the null hypothesis. Pero dito, synthesis ang gagamitin natin. Bakit synthesis, ma'am? Synthesis analysis because we're just doing the textual. Kung yung masaturate na siya, so we need to do the synthesis analysis. So hindi ko na talaga masyadong discuss yung qualitative kasi passing na po tayo. Kasi ito, mas mahirap kasi itong quali. While quanti is more on compute lang. While yung quali, kailangan mo talaga ng i-analyze yung kanilang word per word hanggang makuha ang isang word na magbibigay ng accounts or saturation point. Okay? So that is the difference between a quantitative and a qualitative research. O, sa ngayon, go back tayo sa ating linear regression. So, what is this linear regression equation? So, we're going to appreciate that yung formula na binigay ko kanina with an example. Ito yung example natin. So, we have 10 students. These are their respective math scores and so with their English scores. Wherein yung math score, binigay na natin ng X and yung English score is Y. And the summation of the math score is 48. Summation of the Y score is 50. Okay, so ito yung formula. So we need to multiply the X and Y. So 48 times 50, we have 298. And then we need to square the XI, which is 48. Squared gives us 2,304. After that, ito yung kanting M. Yung M is we have N. So ito na yung N. Summation of Xi times the Yi, which is 298. So yan. Minus summation of Xi, which is 48, times summation of Y, which is 50. Yan. All over N, may N na naman tayo, times the squared, which is 2,304, minus yung Xi, which is this to 48 raised to 2. And we need to do the operation. So, pagkuha ng operation, nakita na natin na yung M natin is 0.88414116. After that, we need also to get the mean of this one, the math score. So, 48 divided by 10 students, 10 students tayo meron. So, divide by 10, 4.8. And also in the Y, which is 50 divided by 10, which is 5. So, next. So, B. Ano tong B? Ito yung kanyang formula. Kasi kailangan natin gumawa ng Y equals to MX plus B. So, meron na tayong M. Yung X ay leave it pa lang kasi equation lang yan. Kailangan lang natin makita si M pati si B. So, yung B natin is this ang formula. Ito yung formula ng B. So, get the mean of the Y, which is 5, minus the M, 0.8846 times the mean of the X, which is 4.8. So, do the operations and we have this one. Okay, next.
Two months.
Oo.
2 months na November pati ito.
And then, ito na, no? Hence, the irrigation equation. So, ito yung gusto natin makuha. So, you just substitute the M. What is your M? This one. With the X, ha? Kailangan may X yan. And then, what is your B? Ito yung B. O, yan. So, this will be your regression model or regression equation. So, ito na. Y is equals to 0.88x plus 0.76. So, ganyan po yung ating yan, Y equals to mx plus b, yung ating regression equation. We need to find the linear regression equation. Yan. So, ito na po ng ating regression equation. So, as you can see, ito po yung mga procedures na kailangan natin gawin to pass by before we can create the linear regression equation. Okay? So, any questions with the Unit 2? Unit 2, I guess. Unit 3. Questions? So, I guess no more questions. So, as a recap, mag-recap po ako . So, statistics give us the overall view of the reports that may indicate the changes of a given sample or population. So, I already discussed the definition of sample and the population in Unit 1. So, it gives us an idea on how to analyze data using specific tool to interpret the data we gather. So, ano to mga specific tool? Sa Unit 1, ano discuss ko yung Unit 1? So, sa Unit 1, discuss ko yung mga measures of central tendency which are the mean, mode, and the median. For the Unit 2, ano di-discuss ko sa Unit 2? The correlation. And for the Unit 3, ano ang di-discuss ko sa Unit 3? Di-discuss ko yung hypothesis, is either null or alternative, and also yung regression. So part of the hypothesis, diniscuss ko yung quantitative and qualitative. Okay, so we're done now with the module 4. So tapos na tayo sa module 4. So by next meeting, so i-discuss na natin yung module 5. So before that, any questions po? So, by Thursday, i-upload ko yung inyong dalawang activity and so with that lecture sa inyong Google Classroom. So, take note, the deadline is still December 13. Paki December 13, isasama yan sa inyong isang activity sa Unit 1. December 13, since gagawin nyo lang is computing and also yung Unit 3, is just taking the answers. And take note po, the quiz number 4. Ano ang coverage ng quiz number 4? Is your module 4, which is the statistics. So your quiz is it will be just taking or fill in the blank. So there's no need for you to compute. Pag may compute naman, there's no need for you to upload the computation. It's just fill in the blanks or taking the answer. Yun lang po ang magiging gagawin ninyo sa quiz. Pero sa activities, may mga computation talaga yan. Kasi dito sa math, it is more on, not naman practice makes perfect, but more on learning by doing. It's better, mas maganda yung learning by doing. Kasi as you do your activity, you learn it also. Okay, so for the quiz 4 yung link ng quiz will be available in your Google or I will give it to our group chat, group message, yung from December 9 to December 13. So it will be available at 1 p.m. and it will end at 5 p.m. So example ito yung magiging example ng ating activity for the Unit 3. So, on a state, travel, mga ganyan. So, what is the, for example, letter A. So, ito, HO is P, equal, less not equal, ganyan. So, depende yan dito sa ating gagawin. So, ngayon, hindi nyo isusulat yan. Example, sinulat ko less than or equal to. Hindi. Meron dyan kayo, I guess, ititik nyo ata, nandyan si equal sign, nandito si not equal, nandyan si ganyan. So, ititik nyo lang. So, all in all, ticking lang po talaga ang gagawin nating activity for the Unit 3. And so, with this one, dito sa number 4, ititik nyo kung ito at ang tamang answer. So, ititik ko si letter C. Yan, ititik ko yan. Sa ticking lang po ang gagawin natin for the Unit 3. So, question po. Any question? So, I guess no. Okay. Thank you, J-Boy and Radnalyn. So, no questions. Tamang-tama. It's 10:30. Please open your... Yes, Radnalyn?
Regarding po, ma'am, sa quiz po, it's for the whole day, ma'am, yung October 9, 1 p.m. to 5. Isang araw lang yan, ma'am. Sa quiz 4 po.
Quiz 4, December 9 to December 13. Yes.
Okay po, sige. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so, klaro na tayo. So, please open your camera for my documentation. So, paki-open yung camera. Okay, so, 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, so, thank you for your time, Thank you for your time, guys. So, see you by next Tuesday na naman. So, next Tuesday po tayo, module 4 na tayo. And then, prepare yung quiz nyo is available by next week din. Kasi gagawin ko pa yung Google form. And for your asynchronous class, which is go to the Google Classroom, is on Thursday. So, makikita nyo yung lectures and activities of Unit 2 and 3 of Module 4. Okay, so,
Thank you, ma'am.
okay, thank you for time. Stay safe. God bless. Bye-bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye-bye.